Authorities say at least 69 individuals reportedly died due to the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that jolted Cebu on Tuesday evening, September 30. The quake damaged several heritage churches, houses, and schools, while causing widespread power outages in the region. Office of Civil Defense Assistant Secretary Rafael Alejandro IV says most of the fatalities were tallied in Bogo City at 30. PHIVOLCS reported that the magnitude 6.9 earthquake occurred at 9:59 p.m., with the epicenter located 19 kilometers northeast of Bogo City at a shallow depth of 5 kilometers. According to the official, the earthquake happening at night can lead to more casualties.
If it happens at night, kasi maraming nasa bahay, and kung hindi po maganda yung pagkagawa ng bahay mo, it might collapse and leads to more casualty. Kasi pag umaga kasi, ayun, we're all alert, no? Madaling lumabas.
Alejandro also says rescuers are scrambling during the so-called golden hour, referring to the first 24 hours when the likelihood of survivors remains high.
Sabi ko nga kanina, the golden hour natin is 24 hours sana, no? Yung ideal is 24 hours, meron pa tayong ma-save dyan. But of course, kung naipit lang naman at buhay at mabigyan mo ng tubig kahit hindi pa siya makuha, mataas naman ang survivability rate nun.
Military personnel and Coast Guard personnel are being deployed to Ground Zero to augment the search and rescue efforts. Alejandro says the OCD alerted neighboring Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia in case the country needs assistance. But so far, he says local authorities can still manage the rescue operations. The entire province of Cebu has been placed under a state of calamity, allowing the provincial government to use quick response funds and also to conduct a 60-day price freeze of basic goods. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure will issue subpoenas to former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, resigned Ahobico Party List Representative Zaldico, and Senator Mark Villar to attend its investigation into the flood control anomalies. In an ambush interview on Wednesday, October 1, ICI Executive Director Brian Keith Hosaka says Villar will be invited since he is a former Secretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways. According to Hosaka, the ICI already has the subpoena for Romualdez.
Sir, Senator Escudero was invited as your resource speaker. Will we expect former House Speaker Romualdez as well?
Yes, I believe he will be invited. Or in fact, I think according to our secretariat, he was invited already. But I just have to find out if the summons or the subpoena was actually received.
When did you send out the subpoena?
I have to check, but I think it was during the first part of when the commission started its hearings.
The ICI earlier asked the Office of the Ombudsman to study whether charges may be filed against Ko and 17 other officials of the DPWH and officers of SunWest Incorporated over a substandard flood control project in Oriente del Mindoro worth 289.5 million pesos. Ko is a co-founder of SunWest, which was included in President Bongbong Marcos's list of 15 contractors that bagged most of the government's flood control projects. According to the ICI, Ko supposedly received unwarranted benefits as the former House Appropriations Committee chairperson in relation to SunWest's projects. Contractor couple Curly and Sara Discayas have also tagged Ko and Romualdez to a scheme wherein they allegedly received kickbacks from government infrastructure projects. Both Ko and Romualdez have denied the allegations. The National Bureau of Investigation says it will seek the assistance of Interpol to compel former police Colonel Garma to return to the country. Garma is facing murder and frustrated murder charges over the 2020 killing of former Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office Board Secretary Wesley Barayuga. NBI Director Jaime Santiago says the investigating team has already reached out to Interpol agents in the country who would relay the matter to counterparts in Malaysia. He notes that Interpol agents in the Philippines would be the ones who would coordinate with various law enforcement agencies, including Interpol. Garma is presumed to have been staying in Malaysia since leaving the Philippines on September 7. She returned to the Philippines from the US on September 6. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla previously said Garma was in Malaysia to meet with representatives of the International Criminal Court. Remulla said Garma agreed to testify against former President Rodrigo Duterte, who is facing crimes against humanity charges over his brutal drug war. Branch 279 of the Mandaluyong Regional Trial Court issued on September 29 a warrant of arrest against Garma, former National Police Commission Chair Edilberto Leonardo, and Police Lieutenant Colonel Santi Mendoza. The arrest warrant was also issued against former police officers Nelson Mariano and Jeremy Causapin for the killing of Barayuga on July 30, 2020. In a press conference on Wednesday, October 1, the NBI presents Mendoza and Mariano. Both are in custody of the NBI after they surrendered to authorities last month and confessed to their role in the killing. According to the NBI, the two allegedly served as middlemen between the hitmen and implicated Garma and Leonardo as the masterminds in the murder. Senate President Pro Tempore Lacson addresses the circulating image of him with controversial contractor couple Sara and Curly Discaya. Cavite Representative Kiko Barzaga earlier posted the image on Facebook, calling for an investigation. Lacson says the photo was taken sometime in the last week of April when the 90-day campaign period for the 2025 midterm elections was about to end. He recalls that the meeting took place after Fred Villar invited him to attend a grand rally in Mindanao. Villar is a campaign supporter from Davao City and son of the late Police Brigadier Francisco Villar. Lacson says Villar was accompanied by the Discayas' son Pacifico Felizario Discaya II when he went to his office in Taguig City to extend the invitation. The senator says he rejected the invitation out of respect for his friend Senate President Tito Soto, whose nephew Mayor Vico Soto was running against Mrs. Discaya for Pasig City Mayor. According to Lacson, the younger Discaya was a nominee of a party list group. Lacson adds that there were already other party lists that were including his name in their sample ballots, so he believed it was not a smart political decision to join a rally of any other party list group. With this, he emphasizes that he did not know the Discayas and that the event was the first and only time outside of the Blue Ribbon panel's hearing that he met them. The senator notes that the meeting took only 15 to 20 minutes. Lacson says he hopes his statement clarifies insinuations being attached to the photo. The Discayas are among the key resource persons invited by the Blue Ribbon panel to shed light on the alleged collusion among contractors, lawmakers, and officials in anomalous flood control projects. It was Curly Discaya who first named House members and government officials who were allegedly receiving kickbacks from public works projects.